Hi, my name is Dylan Llewellyn. I'm a senior exercise and sport physiology student at Plymouth State University. So we have Brandon, who will be demonstrating the exercises for us today. We're going to use the barbell back squat, which is classified as a bilateral lower body push. So we already have the bar racked at armpit height for Brandon, and he's going to step up to the bar, and he's going to place his hands a little wider than shoulder width apart before he steps under it, and then he'll stand up to unrack the bar. Now he's going to step back, and he has his feet shoulder width apart with a neutral spine. He's going to hinge a little bit at the hips and then hinge at the knees, allowing the weight to bring him down until he gets about parallel with his quads, and then he's going to fire concentrically up to complete the movement. So we'll repeat this until we finish the set. And when the set's done, he'll stand up and then he'll take a step forward, getting the bar all the way against the rack, and then he'll unrack it. Next, we're going to use bilateral hamstring slides. So we have our sliders, and Brandon's going to lay on his back with his feet on the sliders, and he's going to extend at the knees, and now he's going to pick his hips up off the ground with that pelvis tucked under. And now he's going to concentrically contract his hamstrings, bringing his knees up towards his butt. Once he reaches 90 degrees at the knees, his knees, hips, and shoulders should all be aligned. That's the concentric portion. And he's going to slowly elongate his hamstrings all the way out. That's our eccentric portion. And he'll repeat this movement until he fills the set. Next up, we're going to do Triceps Dips. So we have a bench here. Brandon's going to sit on the edge of the bench, and he's just going to grasp it with his hands, and he's going to take a step out with his feet and suspend his butt in the air. And now he's going to bend both of the shoulders and the elbows until those elbows get to about 90 degrees. And this will be lowering is the eccentric portion in relation to the triceps, and then the upward motion is the concentric. So we want to keep that lower motion nice and slow, and that upward motion fast and a little faster and more explosive. Our primary upper body pull in this lift will be the inverted row. So right here we have a power rack with a barbell position a couple feet up. And so what Brandon's going to do is he's going to lay on his back under the bar, and then he's just going to reach up and he's going to grasp the bar slightly wider than shoulder width apart, and he's going to have a nice straight torso with just his heels on the ground. And now Brandon's going to just pull himself up with the chest all the way up to the bar by hinging at the elbows and the shoulders. So he's keeping a nice neutral position with a rigid torso throughout the whole the movement, and his head is nice and neutral as well. We can adjust this we can make it more challenging by lowering the bar on the rack, and we can regress it, make it a little easier by raising the height of the bar. We're also going to use box jumps as an explosive type of movement. We're going to really prioritize getting triple extension. So we're going to set up a box to a challenging height, but a height that the athlete knows that they can achieve. And so Brandon's going to step up to the box, and he's just going to step a foot and a half or so away, 2 feet away. And with that powerful triple extension motion, he's going to propel himself upward to the top of the box, tucking his feet in while he's in the air, and then landing in a sort of crouch position. So Brandon's going to demonstrate this. And so then just take a step down, and we'll repeat this until we fill the set. So our plyometric exercise here is single leg bounding. So this really works on developing some triple extension with your ankles, hips, and knees. So what we're going to do is we have this turf stretch. So this is sort of like an exaggerated running form. And what we really want to prioritize is as little time on the ground as possible, and then just as much power off the ground as possible. So we're going to have a nice knee drive, and then we're going to be landing kind of on the ball of our foot with our foot slightly in a dorsiflex position. So Brandon's going to demonstrate this. So this bounding has a eccentric demand, and then it kind of forces the body to use the stretch shortening reflex in the tendons to generate power and kind of save a little bit of energy instead of using muscle contraction. Our next bilateral lower body push is going to be the deadlift. So Brandon's already got a barbell with weight loaded on it. So he's going to step up to it with his feet about shoulder width apart, and he's going to reach down with flexing at his knees and his hips. He's going to grasp the bar just outside of his legs, and that bar is going to be about 2 inches away from his shins. And what he's going to do is he's going to initiate the movement. He's got a nice open chest. He's going to initiate the movement by extending both the hips and the knees. And he's going to bring the bar all the way up until he's fully extended. That's our concentric shortening. And then he's going to lower the bar, and that's the eccentric phase. So it's really important to keep that neutral spine and the chest open through this. So in this lift, our unilateral lower body push is going to be the split squat. So we have the bar racked at Brandon's armpit height. And what he's going to do is he's going to step up to it. He's going to unrack it in the same manner as he did with the back squat. So once he has the bar unracked, he's going to take a step back with one leg until his toes are on the ground. He can't put his heel on the ground in this position. And what he's going to do is he's going to take the knees and the hips, or the back hip, to drop himself down to the ground, and he's going to go until that back knee is hovering just above the ground and the front knee is at about 90 degrees. He'll finish the set on one leg and then he'll switch. It's really important here that we keep that pelvis tucked under us with the head in a neutral position and the bar rested across the upper back. Next we're going to do the bent over row. So we have a bar loaded up, and Brandon's going to step up to it. And he's going to take a step back, and with his feet just a little closer than shoulder width apart, he is going to hinge slightly at the hips and at the knees, and he has a nice straight line from his pelvis all the way up to his head in that neutral position. And all he's doing right here is he's driving his elbows back, and he's pinching at the shoulder blades, bringing that bar up to his chest. So we'll finish the reps, come back, re-rack the bar, and that's the whole set. Next up, we have the overhead med ball toss. This is another one of our explosive exercises where we get triple extension with the knees, the hips, and the ankles. So we start with a med ball. Brandon has a med ball. He's going to hold it at chest height. He's a couple feet away from a nice sturdy wall that we can throw the ball against. And he's going to start by hinging down. He's going to pretty rapidly drop down by flexing on his knees and his hips, and before rapidly exploding up with that's the triple extension portion where he gets that jump, throws the ball off the wall, and as the ball comes down, he's ready to catch it. He catches it, and then we see him squat down with the weight of the ball. That's where we get the eccentric piece. So we're also getting a little bit of an eccentric tax here, and it's going to lead to some muscular durability. Our next plyometric is going to be the depth drop. So we have a box here. Brandon's going to start by standing on the box, and so what he's going to do is he's going to step off with one foot in a dorsiflex position, and as he leaves the box, he's going to bring both feet together so he makes contact with the ground at the same time. He's going to land in that relatively dorsiflex position on the ball of his feet, and then he's going to, with a very minimal ground contact time, he's going to extend and propel himself as high upward as possible. So Brandon will demonstrate this. And you see the really small ground contact time. So what we're really working on here is increasing our force output relative to the time on the ground. We're going to use the weighted glute bridge. So right here we're going to do it with a barbell. So Brandon's got the barbell. He's going to position a pad around his waist, and he's just going to roll that right up onto it. And now laying on the ground, he'll bring those feet up towards his glutes a little bit. So his knees are about 90 degrees. And now he's just going to extend at his hips. So this is really working the glutes and the hamstrings, those primary hip extensors, which are extremely active during, while we're running. So while he's doing this, and when he's in the upward portion, we can draw a straight line from Brandon's knee all the way down to his shoulder. Next up, we're going to do the reverse lunge. So again, we have the bar racked about Brandon's armpits. He's going to step under it, and he's going to unrack it in the same manner as he does with the back squat. And once he's done that, he's going to take a step backwards. And the difference with this between the split squat is that we're going to alternate legs. This is more hip dominant, because Brandon's leaning slightly forward as opposed to a split squat. So there's slightly more of a load on that front leg. And so we're alternating here. We'll finish the set on each side, and then once he's done, step forward and re-rack it. So the whole time he had that neutral pelvis, and although he had that slight tilt, he was still with a neutral spine. So our primary push in this lift is going to be the overhead press. So we again have a barbell. This can be done with a barbell or a dumbbell. We're going to demonstrate with the barbell. So Brandon's got it up in the front squat position, and what he's going to do here, he's got his feet about shoulder width apart. He's got a neutral pelvis, a neutral spine. When that bar's down, he's got his head back and allowing room for his chin. Once he gets up into the press position, his head comes forward a little bit. He's maintaining the neutral spine and the neutral pelvis the whole time, which is really important for posture. And so we're going to complete this until we flip the set. All right, so our next lift is the hang clean, which is a more compound lift. So again, we have our barbell, and Brandon's going to reach down and he's going to grasp it. He's going to bring it up to his around mid-thigh to his hips, and he's got his shoulders pulled back. He's got his feet about shoulder width apart. And what he's going to do here is he's going to slightly dip down before triple extending and forcefully allowing the bar to travel up. Once the bar travels up, we'll see him drop down with his arms and his body in that squat position, and then he's got the front rack. So this exercise, we're checking off a lot of boxes here. We got the triple extension. This is a bilateral lower body push, and we also have a slight upper body pull. The next plyometric is Pogo Jumps. So this is a bilateral plyometric, and we're prioritizing vertical height here. Again, keeping as little time on the ground as possible. And so when Brandon's in the air, he'll have his feet slightly dorsiflexed, so he's landing on the balls of his feet. And we're really prioritizing maintaining a stiff ankle and knee. And most of our vertical is coming from the ankle, and it's coming from that kind of stored energy in the Achilles, which is why it's really important to limit ground contact time. So Brandon will demonstrate this.